your journey with the music industry. How did music become a part of your life?
How did music become a part of my life? Man, music's been a part of my life since a kid, man, from dancing to singing. It's funny, I started off dancing professionally before I started singing. I used to dance for Prince, Shaquille O'Neal, believe it or not, but when he was rapping. So from there, Prince actually told me that with my personality, I belong in the front of the stage and not in the back. And from there, I haven't looked back.
What that mean to you?
To me, it meant that he saw something in me that maybe I didn't even see in myself. And I always just like being goofy because that's basically what I did with my family. My mom tell me, boy, I seen that song, I act goofy, dance, do the Michael Jackson dance, whatever. So I just always like to make people laugh or feel a certain type of way. So I feel like entertainment has always been a part of my life.
That's dope. That's dope. So you were in dancing initially.
Yeah.
What age were you when you started singing?
16. I remember high school talent show. Man, that's when I knew that, man, I want to do this. Just the effect. I play ball and stuff like that, but the effect I got from people from singing was just,
They gave love to you at the talent show, bro?
man, we won. We was a group. I started off in the singing group, and man, just the way they reacted, I was like, yeah, this is it.
You were the lead singer of the group?
No, I wasn't.
What?
One of my best friends, may he rest in peace, Tim Dinwiddie, was an amazing art. When I say vocalist, he was a crazy vocalist. So he helped me get the confidence for singing. I helped him get the confidence for, uh, being popular within the school and stuff like that. So we kind of trade off, confidence per se, because I was popular just from playing basketball and dancing.
Yeah.
And, people knew him, but they didn't know him, if that makes sense. But he's always been like super gifted.
Right.
Yeah.
So who were your idols back then?
One of the names I'm gonna hold out on,
Yeah, okay.
just for I don't want people. I don't want people
who'd you
attacking me.
look up to, I guess, because maybe.
I
Yeah.
Right, right.
believe I can fly.
Man,
Oh, yeah,
yeah,
okay,
yeah,
see.
okay. You gonna bust me out? Okay, you gonna bust me out?
Hey,
You know,
I was too, bro.
you not by yourself,
Yo,
yo.
Man, I'm
I
telling
love
you.
that TP2 album.
You
Straight
know,
up, that's one of my favorites. Is
One of the things I loved about his music was the fact that he knew how to storytell.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? So I always say Brian McKnight was more of my mentor because Brian McKnight was more of a ballad. That's my favorite, is ballads. But I know that, you got to give people other stuff too. But when it comes to my favorite style, it's ballads. So Brian McKnight played a big role in that. But we're talking R. Kelly. I said the name now. Brian McKnight, man, Boys to Men, they was heavily influenced mine. Like with the group that I was in, we did a lot of harmonies. So yeah, man, those were my people.
that's
Those my go-tos.
yeah.
Yeah.
So when did you start recording?
First song we recorded was a lot of people are gonna remember this. It was a song called "Freaky Room." And it was like really popular back then. And man, it was a reel to reel, believe it or not. The studio we was at was a reel to reel.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, man, what is this?
Yeah.
But the guy that we were working with, he was very he liked the old styles. He feels like the quality was better.
Mm-hmm.
And we was young, so of course we followed along.
Mm-hmm.
Even though everybody else was doing the digital or whatever.
Yeah.
But
They shouldn't have cut
right,
reels.
you know what I'm saying?
Cut reels
So
and tapes.
he was like, no, we're gonna do the real to real. Trust me, that's a better quality.
Yeah.
Just don't get me wrong, the quality was great
Yeah.
afterwards, but when you're that young, any opportunity you pretty much running with it.
That's
He could have came with, 2 barrels and with water in it. We would
Bro, that's a pretty cool experience.
man, yeah. To be able to say that I actually experienced it,
Right.
even though it was out of its time, it was a great experience. definitely. You know, I also, it was funny because we did a lot of group stuff. You know, me, RL, we had a 5-man group one time as well. You know, we all sung together, and I think about from then to now, RL and I, we ran into each other when I was on tour in Dubai. He was on tour in Dubai at the same time. We ran into each other, and it was, I got the video. We were just both animated about like, man, we came from, you know, like I was like, it was almost like I was like, he already had a big brother, but I was like a big brother to him. You know what I'm saying? So it was just one of those things. Like we had a lot of memories from back then, just being goofy young dudes
And
out
now
there.
you chilling in
Yeah,
Dubai for a
man.
second.
You know what I'm
Even if
saying?
it's just for a quick second.
Right, and neither one of us knew
Yeah.
that we both was gonna be there. You know?
That's crazy.
Yeah, it was a dope feeling, man. You know, we was talking about it, did a little video, basically just talking about, man, from the Minneapolis streets to Dubai. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's a long way.
man, real
That's
talk.
dope. So tell us about your music career since then. What? Yeah.
Yeah.
When did you establish yourself as your artist? How did you know?
And
you were
before
really
you say
good at
that,
all?
there's something very, very key that I would love for you to talk about.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, my bad. I'm
No, it's good.
Smooth convo is always
Yep,
easier
yep.
for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's good.
So the way my career started, it's kind of weird because there was like two pieces to my career. In a sense, it was like the group thing that I did, and then you know I made my mistakes in life and disappeared for a while. When I came out super hungry, focused. You know, I just had like this, like you can't tell me nothing. I'm going to do it. You know, because I believe in the don't adapt to other people's fears. You know, a lot of people say, man, you've been out the game too long now, just let it go. No. You know, so I came out hard and it was crazy. My first year, I remember reaching out to certain individuals when I first got out. I was like, you know, I know they're going to do this or whatever, you know, show me love the way I did before I went in, you know. And it was really like shine me off left and right, you know. Numerous people who had got established since I was gone. And I was like, okay. I didn't get discouraged because at the end of the day, you can't expect it. You know, would you like it? Yes. Because when you expect something, you gain more disappointment and it causes you to go into a stagnant mind frame. I was like, no problem. I'm doing it on my own. And that's exactly what I did. And my first year, I had won 4 music awards and I was just on the scene, not even a full year, you know. And I kept going. Next, you know, my name, my picture was on every name flyer you can think of. I was doing over 100 shows a year. And just building that hype, you know, I made sure that I understood that there was many ways for me to make money as an artist. You know, a lot of times I feel like what hurts a lot of artists is they looking to be paid right away. There's many ways to get paid. Get you a show, build a base off of it, get that crowd, win them over. That's one way to get paid. Have your own merch, bring your CDs. Man, I used to print my own CDs and do the little press little thing on it, you know, and I used to give out like a single to make them want the album, you know, things like that. I just found ways to build my name up without feeling like I'm good, pay me. First, I need a base. I can't be asking for all these things without a base, and the rest is history, man. I just grind nonstop, literally, nonstop.
That's some good advice.
Yeah, man. You know, I call it the famous before you're famous, because a lot of times people feel like they're supposed to act a certain way, so they act like that before they even where they're supposed to be, and then if they do make it, then they realize that they weren't supposed to act like that anyways. You know, you don't get longevity from that. But I feel like being you, being real, being appreciative, that's how you have longevity. And that's why my fan base have been loyal to me for all these years, you know, because I honestly appreciate them and they can see it because of the way I move. You know, I don't beg people to come to a show and then go hide up in the top room and not communicate. You know what I'm saying? Like, they could have been doing anything they decided to be there with me and rock with me. I love you, so I'm gonna be out here and I'm gonna rock with you. You know, and that's just how I move.
That was dope at the show.
Man,
you were out there connected with the people.
yeah,
man.
you know, I
what
think
mean?
it's
cool.
important. Yeah, you know, I had my regular clothes on, you know what I'm saying? And because what you have to remember is these are the people who get you there. Yeah, your talent is something that gains attention, but it's the people who believe in you that push you up. It's kind of like your fan base is just like the other your peers, like the other artists. You know how people say the crab in the bucket.
Yeah.
You only can get pushed up if you trust and believe in the people who behind you. You got to acknowledge them.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because if you acknowledge them, then that's how you gain their attention. Yeah. If I say your name, then I'm gaining your attention. But if I act like I don't know who you is,
Right.
you see what I'm saying? So your appreciation is how they push you on up that barrel and get you out of there. And then your job is to grab the next person and grab the next person. You create a chain, you know, but a lot of people don't think like that. You know,
I'd almost rather perform for 50 people that knew my lyrics in the crowd than 2,500 people that had never heard me.
Man, you know, now that you say
you
that,
still gotta win them over.
Man,
but
you got to win them over.
There's something to say when somebody knows your music,
yeah,
and they appreciate it.
Yes, you know, and not only that, how much do you love what you're doing? I always say, if you don't love doing it and you're only doing it for the money, find a new career. You know, because I remember at the earlier stage of my career, I got booked for a show. I can't remember the venue, but I know it was on Washington Avenue. And I'll never forget this. I get there was one couple sitting at the table. One couple. Now, mind you, I had an hour show set. One couple, and there were some people over at this bar area, maybe like 6 or 8 people, but they wasn't a part of the other side. And I remember the lady come to me and she said, I understand if you don't want to do the show, you know, people hasn't come and blah, blah, blah. I was like, I'm going to do the show. There's 2 people here, you know. And she was like, okay. And I did I could have just did a couple songs and been done. I did the whole hour. The cool thing about it is those 2 people felt like they was on a date and had their own private entertainment and that I was there strictly just for them. Do you know they went on social media, talked about, man, it was this guy. They didn't even know me. They just happened to be there eating, you know, for the show, but they didn't know me. You know, they knew, you know, there was someone going to be singing. And man, they just talked, oh my God, and he did the whole show, and I did it as if I had a whole crowd there. I'm sweating the whole 9 yards, you know, but they could have been anywhere else. You know, so regardless if you got 2 people or 6,000, you got to get in the same thing, you know, and
it should be easy if you love it.
Exactly. That's, you know, it comes down to that pride and that ego. You know, I ain't finna perform at 2 people. So what are you doing this for? You know what I'm saying? You can't have passion for it. It can't be a temporary thing. It got to be either you have the passion for it or you don't. You know, regardless of who is there, they came. You know, so I'm super big on that. And since then, man, I'm telling you, it just kept elevating. Just kept elevating.
You've worked with some huge names in the music industry.
Yeah.
You want to go back on that one?
Man, that's a long list, you know, and it's funny. So I've worked with, I performed on stage with Boys II Men a couple of times, who I told you earlier were big influences in my career. I performed with legendary people like Take 6, Babyface, Beyonce. I've opened up for Beyonce twice. I even performed with Celine Dion, and doing that performance was bananas because it wasn't even supposed to happen. But like I said earlier, I don't go off other people's fears. I just do what I can, what I believe, and I manifest things by just saying I'm going to do it. I approach the right people at the right time, and they put me in the shows as a filler. she loved what I did so much that this woman, literally, I'm not, I'm gonna be honest, you know what I'm saying, brought me to tears because she loved my story so much. Gave me a condo there in Vegas, gave me the deed to it as a gift, and told me that I was special and that she thought I was gonna do great things. And man, it hit me so hard, and nobody had ever done that for me. You know what I'm saying? Here I was, this kid who raised himself from 16 years old, homeless, et cetera, et cetera. The list goes on, to somebody doing something that huge for me. And so I'll always have respect for her to the day I leave this earth. Same with Beyonce. Um, you get so used to people saying things to you, get your hopes up, and then nothing happens. So I had gained this mental to say to myself, get excited but not too excited, right? Be ready for it, but if it don't come, you're not so excited that it crush you. She actually, I opened for her in Memphis, and she asked me if I would like to come to her father's anniversary party. And I remember like, yeah, like I would love to do that, but in my head I'm like, there's no way she's about to have me come to this party. They took down my information. I want to say maybe like 3 months later, I received a message from her assistant asking me my favorite color, what kind of drinks, all these things. Dude, they flew me to New York, put me in this condo. They knew my favorite color was blue. So the whole condo room was blue. They had a whole bunch of Red Bull, 'cause at the time Red Bull was my thing. Refrigerator full of Red Bull. Dude, I was blown away. I go to this party, and I knew just from my own experience that when you're around these people, you have to act like you're supposed to be there. So I kind of had this vibe like I was supposed to be there. So nobody realized that I was just this little small fry around all these big people. That's why I know that your persona and how you carry yourself goes a long way. So even though I've seen a lot of people that I'm a huge fan of, I acted like, you know, we was on the same page, and they loved that, and she was impressed by that, and so from that, I've always carried myself that way with all the other people I performed with, and I performed with so many people. This interview would be about all that if I name everyone, but I've been blessed to perform with a lot of amazing artists from back in the days to today, and that's been a blessing.
You've traveled to some pretty crazy places. Tell us about that.
Man, I've toured many countries. I've basically been a resident in Dubai for the last 9 years. South Africa, London was the first place I went outside of the country. Mexico, Singapore, Brazil, Thailand, Japan. Man, the list goes on. Just been to a lot of countries and been able to embrace a lot of different cultures. And one thing I learned by traveling like that is you don't realize how much you are loved across this globe. If you just stay here, you would never know. Hawaii, just so many great places I've been blessed to go and share my gifts with. So man, I wouldn't trade none of that for nothing in the world. For real.
What would you say is the highlight of your career, the favorite part of your career?
Man.
Is it that stage moment? Is it the traveling? Is it the fans? Is it maybe you can't pay? I don't know. I'm just
man.
you know what I mean?
That's a good question, but I would have to say that it's like a trail mix for me. You know what I'm saying? Seriously, because I love the fact that here I am, this guy who had a wild younger lifestyle, from being wild in the streets, being shot 3 times, stabbed 6 times, losing a little brother who was only shot 1 time, you know, to doing time in prison, 12 years, to deciding to myself, hey, I'm not going to let the way I grew up dictate who I am today. I had to, because I started off super angry in there. I felt like the world was against me. It wasn't fair. And then I realized, stop waiting on everyone else to save you and save yourself. Grab a hold of that stick and pull yourself out. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I did. And I changed my mentality because I saw a lot of people going in and out of prison while I was in there. And I was like, man, I just want one of those times, just one chance, And I said to myself, oh, what is it that make them keep coming back? And what's going to stop me from doing it? And I knew what it was. They left with the same mentality that they came in with. So I knew that I had to change my mentality. So then I started getting into books. I got certified in 7 computer languages. I got my pre-apprenticeship. I just had started getting all these different gifts that would benefit me once I left. Changed my mentality. I stopped thinking about the poor me, and I started thinking about, watch out for me. You know what I'm saying? And because I'm a true, I thrive off of people saying it can't happen. Man, you can't do that. Watch me. You can't do that. Watch me. I love when people do that. That's why I don't understand why people get frustrated and angry by what you would consider a hater. Your haters are your weight coach. What do your weight coach do? They yell at you. Come on, man. Get up. Stop being weak. They yelling at you. They tempting you. That's all a hater is. They
Free fuel.
Yeah. They free. You ain't paying for it. So I believe in turning your haters into your new best fans. It's important. So I'm real thankful for my life, even the bad part, because it made me who I am today. So I don't regret anything because it created me to who I am today. Yeah. So I try not to be one of those people who walk with their head down. I keep it level.
Now they say there's a dark side to this industry. Do you believe that?
Of course, there's a dark side to everything.
Yeah.
When you're going through your day, it started out bright, but by the end of the day, what? It's dark. You know what I'm saying? So you just got to know how to navigate through that stuff. You become who you want to become. I'm a true believer that you have some people that, like, I've been around people where I always thought they were cool, right? And then they got some power. And their whole persona change. So you think. When really it's always been that, they just hadn't had the opportunity to show it. You know what I'm saying? So even like when people get drunk, I feel like drunk, they call it, I think it's like true serum. Oh, that's how you really feel. When they get talking crazy, you're like, oh, you really felt like that. Okay. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. Now I know. Right. So that's the same thing with this industry, man. You have the opportunity to do what you need to do. You get people talking about the Illuminati this, Illuminati that. To me, that's a mentality thing. It's like me, if I'm hanging around people who doing dumb stuff all the time, guess what? Even if I'm not, it's gonna look like it. So you are who you surround yourself with, man. You just got to move correctly. You got to pray on it, and you just make sure you create your circle the way it needs to be, the way you see yourself being surrounded. You know what I'm saying? And just move from there. But that's dark everywhere, man.
Yeah.
You can't have light without dark.
So you think of these kids nowadays, 2024, living in a pretty crazy world. What about that one that knows, I'm going to be famous, I want to be a singer, I want to be an entertainer? What kind of game would you want to put them on? What would be your insight to the dreaming artist?
Well, the main thing I would say is consistency. You get so many people, it's funny. I hear a lot of times artists, I hear another artist and they be like, man, whack. How they got on there? They was consistent. Too many talented people are sitting in the basement saying that, waiting on everybody to come find them. They're not out there showing their gifts, strengthening their gifts every day. Sometimes the less talented are the ones who are here grinding. So, of course, they're going to make it, because anytime you are consistent with something, something's going to happen from it. If I hit a wall over and over again, sooner or later I'm going to get through it, right? Because I'm consistently hitting it. It's going to weaken at some point. If you're trying to get someone to listen to your music and you contacting them every day, sooner or later they're just going to listen to it just to get you to leave them alone. You've been consistent. In this game, artists need to be more consistent. Less of thinking, you got so many people today that they feel like they're entitled. Man, I'm good, man.
Can't nobody touch me. I'll drop bars.
You can be good. You can be great. But this world is not looking for who is good and who is great. They're looking for that full package. Who can be consistent? Who can I depend on to give me great quality music? Who can I depend on to keep me entertained? Who can I depend on? If I invest my money, can I depend on this person to be good for my investment? Your consistency every day dictates that. If I see you on social media more than I see you on your craft, something wrong with that picture. If I see you in the club more than I see you working on your craft, are you really putting your all into it? That's what it comes down to, man. You have to be consistent in this game and you can make it. A person who can't sing, if they consistently work on that gift every day, sooner or later they're going to be able to sing. That's with anything in life, man. Consistency is the fuel that makes anything happen, man.
10,000 hours, and they say you're an expert at anything.
There's a reason why people like Prince was so great. That man worked, you say 24 hours, he worked 23. And the hour that he didn't work was because he was transitioning to the next thing. You know what I'm saying? The commute from Paisley Park to, downtown to First Avenue. You know what I'm saying? He worked all the time. He was focused on the consistency of his craft. He loved it. And that's where a lot of artists are lacking today, unfortunately.
For no reason.
Unfortunately, yeah.
So, you are a award-winning R&B singer. You've won awards for live performance.
Yes.
And then you said, hey, let me become an actor, right? Is that what happened? Or how did you get into acting and directing?
Well, it's funny you asked that, right? So I'm one of those people that I look at the big picture, right? As an artist, when I'm on stage and I'm performing, I am acting out the lyrics that I am singing, right? Because I have this rule, so this is going to really explain why I love acting so much. I have this rule. When I perform, there's three things that's important. I have to perform in a way that if a person is blind, they can feel what I'm going through or what I'm singing through the rhythm, right? If a person is deaf, they need to be able to understand what I'm singing by the way I move. And if a person is just not, like maybe not paying attention or something or whatever, you know what I'm saying? You have to be able to entertain people on all levels. So I really get into my scene and I act it out so that they understand the story that I'm telling through my song. So acting, man, when I was like, I needed more. You know what I'm saying? I was like, okay, I'm doing it through the songs, but I want more. I want to really, really like get into the scenes because I love writing. So I tried it the first time and got crazy reviews from it. and then I was addicted to it. I said, man, yeah. It was like that talent show day when I was like, yeah, I want to sing. You know what I'm saying? The same thing with the acting. You know, the response and the feeling that it gave me was just intense, man. So I love acting, man. I love writing films. I love directing. You know what I'm saying? Bringing out the best so that it's really captured. You know, when you're doing a movie, a play, a song, you really are trying to connect with that audience, right? You're trying to sell that story or where they can relate to it or whatever. So acting, man, is dope. You know what I'm saying? It's like adding pictures to your song, you know, or visuals. So I love acting.
What goals do you have for the future? In
Um,
either world, acting or music.
so you know, that's a good question. Um, Obviously, I'm writing a new TV series. I'm writing a couple of movie flicks. I'm really trying to find some more positive, really hungry artists out there and help them get to where they need to be. You know what I'm saying? Because you always think about like, man, I ain't have nobody there for me. But does that mean that you don't be there for somebody else? You know what I'm saying? You're supposed to get rid of that void that was there. I do it with my family, and I feel like I need to do the same thing with my community. You know, so that's why I have like the event that I came up with, karaoke meets open mic, because I feel like it's all entertaining at the end of the day. Karaoke side for the people who love music, be able to connect with the artists and creative people who love to create. You know, bringing them together is how you create that partnership to be able to get out of that bucket, right? What I was talking about earlier.
Everybody gets to perform.
Everybody gets to perform and feel connected, because that's how you build relationships. So that's why I came up with that program, to be able to transfer that and take those talented artists that I see are serious and got some quality music and put it on the radio. You know what I'm saying? I also just launched my new business, Nevotion Enterprise, where I am helping people actually not only get out there and blow up, get gigs where they actually getting paid, getting quality, you know, their performance and their presence and all that stuff. Like, there's so many things I'm doing right now to benefit the artists that are serious, you know. But it's funny, when you actually put that opportunity out there, you'd be surprised to see how many people act on it. Everybody likes to complain because they like to borrow your ears, right? But are you serious? Do you really want this? Is this something you really want? Why aren't you moving? Why do I have to go look for you? Why do I have to go through every rubble to know that you're a diamond in the rough? If you're a diamond in the rough and you can move, come to the top of the pile. Let me see you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm giving you locations. Let me see you. So that's what I'm trying. I want to be able to give back and help these artists see the light that they say that they want. You know, but I only want to help those who are really trying to do it. I'm not going to waste my time on people who only doing it because it sounds cool or whatever. You know, it's a lot of talent, man, in this world, and in Minnesota alone, it's like flooded with talent. But having talent is that's a quarter of the what's you know what
Small
it
piece
takes.
of the pie.
Yeah, to make it, you got to have more than talent. You know, so I hope to see more people become more passionate. You know, there's a lot of great outlets, even beyond me. There's so many other outlets out here that can benefit them, but they gotta be ready for it. You know, unfortunately.
Be hungry for it.
Yeah. You know, everybody say they're hungry, but won't go sit at the table.
Right.
You know, the food's there.
Right.
You know, you ain't even have to buy nothing. The food's already there.
Right. You
Just
gotta have
eat.
the
Yeah,
invite.
yeah. You know. So yeah, it's one of those things. Yeah, it's like calling people bluff, man. You on it, here you go. You know, nah, you got to work.
Didn't see you there.
Yeah, you got to put in the work. You know, and nothing comes to those who don't put in the work. You know, so I love it. You know, so that's my mission. You know, to obviously continue to build my empire, to continue to. I planned last year. I toured 13 countries. This year I want to double that. You know, that's my goal. You know, you always got to have a goal, so even if you don't get there. Knowing that you have something to go towards, you know, is important too. You know, you got to write down these things. What am I expecting for my first year, my next 5 years, my 8 year, 10 year? You know, you got to write those things down. You can modify them as you go, you know, but it's important to have a goal.
Get the whiteboard.
Yeah.
Get the whiteboard.
Yeah.
Is there anything else big for 2024 you want to let everybody know about?
Yeah, there's a few big things. New movies. Hopefully, I have this TV series activated by at least closer towards the end of the year. I already have Netflix who's interested in the TV series, so I'm excited about that. Because I feel like that's going to be another way for me to give a lot of people opportunity, because it's a series, so I need a lot of different faces, because it's one of those type of TV series that it's not on the same subject. There's different chapters. It's named after my third or my fourth album, Bad Chapter in the Good Book. It's named after that. It's called Bad Chapter in the Good Book, and each chapter is about a different person's life. You know the concept of in life, you going through something, but you never know what the next person going through. That's what you'll see in this film. You going past that other person that may have something totally different going on in their life, but you never know that because you're so focused on what you're going through. You know, and then you may treat that other person horribly, not even knowing that person going through something even worse, you know. So I want to build that love and that respect for each, you know, for your fellow man and woman, and that's one of the ways I'll be able to do that, you know. So that's huge. I got some great partnerships that I got going for this year. That, trust me, you guys, stay tuned for that. Like I'm teaming up with some great individuals, and when I tell you, it's about to be on and popping. That's an understatement. You know, it's going to be amazing, but it's going to bless a lot of people. You know, the partnerships that I'm gaining right now is going to bless a lot of people. So be ready for that.
Huge performances. Any new countries that are already on the schedule?
I do have. I'm supposed to be hitting more cities in Brazil that I'm excited about. Also, Thailand they want to back me on other parts of Thailand, other cities in Thailand, because I only done Bangkok. So I'm excited by that. But I can guarantee you, I will definitely be hitting a few new countries this year. Nothing's on the map yet, but it's in the works already. So I'm excited. You know, I spend a lot of time in the air. You know,
Definitely a frequent flyer.
Man, my longest direct flight was 25 hours on the plane. 25 hours.
Wow.
But it doesn't bother me like a lot of people say that I don't know why, but it doesn't. I create a routine and then it just, you know, it works. But yeah, it doesn't bother me like I hear a lot of people like 7 hours, 10 hours. I'm like, that ain't nothing, you know. But I'm sure it's because I've done it so much now, you know. But don't get me wrong, when that turbulence comes, I'm like, Lord, it's like You know, I'd be like, Lord, just let me make it down. I won't fly again. You know.
That extra bounce on the landing. And
Man, when I tell you I've experienced I have a lot of respect for flight attendants and pilots. I have a whole new respect for them since I started traveling because I don't understand how they can do that every day, honestly. Because there's been times where the plane felt like it was dropped, like it dropped. I had a time where all the lights went out, all the
oxygen mask.
man, no, the where you put your luggage at, like, all of them was just won't open, luggage falling out. I was like, you know, so don't get me wrong, you know what I'm saying? I'm brave to a certain extent. You know, at the end of the day, I'm like, Mama. You know what I'm saying? So, but no, I love traveling, man. If it could always be, you know, just smooth, I wouldn't have no problem. That's the only issues I have is when that turbulence is like, and the lightning look like it's just gonna come straight through the plane. Like I don't even understand how it survives the stuff it survives, to be honest with you. You know, but I'm thankful that I land safely every time and I make it home. You know, but yeah, travel, man. If y'all have not traveled outside this country, please do, man. Do yourself a favor, at least once. At least once. Trust me. You can thank me later.
All right, where can everybody find you?
You can find me on all social media at Rico Nevotion. You can find me on my website, official Rico Nevotion. You can find me in your phone right now. You know what I'm saying? All you gotta do is type in Rico Nevotion. You see this.